within introduced Supernatural, an in-home VR fitness experience. So I actually played this morning and it was super fun. Basically, this is meant to be one of the first membership-based VR fitness training. There's a lot of games in VR today that have fitness properties, and there's a couple of fitness apps as well, like Box VR, which Boost is an investor in. We've had Adam on previously. But this is meant to be the first membership-based one. So it's made only for Quest, which allows for the wireless nature of it, which is nice. And what's cool about it is similar to Beat Saber, you get a lot of the fun movements, but they've partnered with big music brands to get some of the latest music online. And instead of being in sort of a digital room like something like Beat Saber, you're actually immersed in these like beautiful immersive landscapes from all over the world. It's quite nice. I did a workout and it was like 3 separate songs and 3 different landscapes. So question to you guys today to kick things off. I mean, I've seen a large new crop of these sort of home gym 2.0s that have emerged, things like Peloton, which most are familiar with, Mirror, Tonal. There's a rowing machine I've seen and some VR ones. Is this the future of working out? What will physical gyms of the future look like?
Let's jump in.
Happy to go first.
Shoot.
Go ahead. Absolutely. I do know all of you. Go for it.
Well, I was just going to say there's already there's the start of this. There's already a gym in San Francisco, right? I think called Black Box, which offers a sort of full VR workout you can do. So I think this is probably part of the future. It's less for me about the gamification and the concept in itself, and it's more about the same problems we have in general with VR at the moment, which is to do with the clunkiness of the hardware. The barrier to entry of being able to use it. But I showed this to my better half actually, and she said straight away, absolutely, I would use that, but she doesn't have a headset. So
yeah, I think I'd mirror that. Like I actually worked in VR like a year before I started Synthesia, and I think it's absolutely going to be the case. But I think timing is of the essence here, and I don't think we're going to see these pick up mainstream before the devices is miniaturized, right? Even at conferences today, you have a lot of people who don't even want to put on the headsets because you get very sweaty very fast. And I think I don't believe so much in that right now. I believe a lot in mental training, which is not physical. I think we're going to touch upon that a little bit later on. Some of the things I've seen have been involved in, of rewiring your brain and everything from anxiety to OCD and those kind of things, making your brain think differently, which to me is also a kind of working out, even if not physical. I think we'll see that being much more prominent over the next 5 years.
A lot of the successful consumer products that we've seen, especially those in the exercise realm and wellness realm, have been those that have come about with very minimal changes to human behavior. And so to the points that Andrew and Victor made around it being small enough, it being easy to share, it being cheap enough, I think eventually we'll get there so that someone would do a workout that they otherwise would have done already, but would be significantly enhanced with the VR experience. If you look at Peloton right now, it's been hugely successful because people were already cycling, and you're adding this layer of social and gamification and an overall richer experience on something that people know and understand and are accustomed to already. And I expect VR, when these advances are made, to eventually get there, but we may not quite be there today.
Yeah, speaking of Peloton, I mean, there's also just the removing of the friction of walking to the gym, right? Or driving to the gym for those that live further away. Forgetting VR for a second and thinking just of these new home gym 2.0s, will we see more and more people move to them? I mean, obviously we're in a ripe time right now with everyone already at home. Is this just an acceleration of that trend? And does that impact gyms going forward? Are they going to have to do different things with the spaces?
I mean, I can speak to that a little bit. So Peloton is actually one of our clients, and we do a lot of work with them, and we're going to come up with some very, very exciting stuff very soon. I think what they can offer these kind of things is a different training experience to being in the gym. I think what we've seen so far is a lot of trying to emulate what happens in the gym. But I think we're going to see a whole new wave of these kind of applications, which are going to be much more personalized and have more kind of a one-to-one trainer aspect built into them. So I don't think they are substitutes for each other. I think they can substitute each other, but I think they really just enable an entirely new form of experience. And I think, that taps into also the things we're going to be talking about later with Fortnite and all this sort of way of being social online.
I agree with that, with Victor. I mean, I think it's going to grow the market, especially initially. Already, again, speaking just about my other half, previously she'd have gone to the gym. Her trainer has converted to a whole range of different group classes via Zoom. And that's something that they're already talking about continuing even after COVID, to hopefully finally goes away. So I sort of expect ultimately it to pull in more people and increase the size of the overall market.
Victor, I liked your
I
thought
personally was go ahead, Wiz.
No, please go ahead.
I was just going to say that I was not a believer in home fitness until this whole COVID crisis. And I think the COVID crisis helped those that are trying to create alternatives to the gym experience by allowing folks to at least attempt maintaining a workout routine in the home. And now folks know that they don't have to schlep to a gym. They don't have to pay those huge gym memberships. They don't have to pay for those classes to get a reasonable experience. And to Victor's point, if you create new experiences on the at-home gym platforms, it would greatly diminish the value of a gym membership and the effort of having to go to a gym.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I love Victor's point of the new experiences. Playing Supernatural this morning, I mean, that's what was exciting about it, is it wasn't, the Pamela Reif 20-minute YouTube video where you're doing crunches and push-ups. You were playing like Beat Saber with like a fun song. We'll move on. We've got a cartoon for this section. Cartoonist, what do you have for us?
Let me unmute. All right. Can you guys see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Right,
Welcome to my life.
This one. I made a few variations of that same drawing. So. Another thought. We got more here.
You can be anyone as an avatar.
I thought you were going to have, do I look fat in this?
Here's another one. If people can really calibrate what they want, I have a feeling some people would want this. And last one, I did was this one.
It's also interesting to notice that your choice of instructors virtually, the criteria is very different from instructors that you'd like to have in person. I personally, I would prefer an instructor who speaks less in person because I tend to get confused. But then I like to have an instructor who speaks more and is more engaging online because that helps me get more engaged. And so I guess the criteria is very different for virtual versus physical instructors.
Totally.